School was a success today. When the kids get off the bus, they are bursting with stories about their first days at school. Nick was already befriended every child in the third grade class, and he successfully made milk squirt out of his nose during lunch. This is a skill he's been cultivating for months. Ada is less enthusiastic than her brother, but assures me she's made some new friends. Switching schools midway through the year is a hard thing to do, and I'm so proud of both of them. And Little League tryouts are at the end of the week, Nicholl says. When his dad getting home, he promised he would practice with me. I checked my watch. Suzette told us to show up at her house at 6, which is less than an hour from now. Knowing Enzo, he's going to cut it as close as possible. Soon, I hope. When? He presses me. Soon. He doesn't look satisfied with this answer, so I add, I have a great idea. Why don't you go hit the ball around yourself in the backyard? His eyes light up. I love having a backyard, Mum. Me too. Nicholl was off to practice on his own in the backyard, which is a luxury we didn't have back in the day. I go upstairs to his bedroom and apply a fresh layer of concealer to cover the circles under my eyes that seem like they're always there these days. I start to put on some mascara but manage to get a glove of it in my eye and then have to wash it all off because I'm tearing so badly. I apply a layer of something called nude lipstick, which is a partly lipstick that makes it look like you're not wearing lipstick at all. I can't imagine why they would make such a product, although a better question is why did I buy it? We haven't purchased a full-length mirror yet, so I am doing acrobatics to check my appearance in the small vanity mirror over the sink. It involves some amount of contortion, but I finally decide that I look fine enough. Anyway, I have to figure out the dessert situation, because that is my contribution to the evening. On the way home from work, I stopped off at the supermarket and bought an apple pie. Now, don't get me wrong, I love apple pie in all forms. But when I get downstairs to the kitchen and pull out the grocery bag, it looks like exactly what it is, a cheap pie from a local supermarket. I can only imagine what sort of commentary I'm going to get from Suzette on this pie. She probably goes to some fancy French pastries for all her desserts. I pull a pie out of the plastic wrap but leave it inside the metal tin. Then I grab a fork from the silverware drawer. With artistic precision, I rough up the edges of the pie and poke the centre a few times. The pie looks decidedly less assembly line perfect now. Could I pass it off as home-baked? Maybe. As I'm scrutinising the pie, the front door hinges squill as the door swings open. Enzo is home. Thank God, since we don't have much time left. I rush out to the front door to meet him, but immediately, my biggest balls, my husband is literally covered head to toe in dirt, and we have to be at the Wells in 15 minutes. Great. Nelly, his face lights up when he sees me, but then I notice he's looking at the pie. Apple pie, my favourite American dessert. I made it, I say, testing the waters. Really, it looked like from supermarket. Damn, I guess I didn't make it rustic enough. He comes over to give me a kiss, but I back away, holding up a hand to ward him off. You're filthy. I was digging a hole, he says. They go, be silly to think he was doing anything else. I'll show her after I do the baseball with Nicholl. He wants to practice. Enzo, I glare at him. Suzette invited us for dinner. We need to be there in 15 minutes. Remember? He looks at me blankly. I am amazed by his ability to forget any sort of social engagement, although he seems to be very good at keeping track of his work obligations. Oh, he says, was it in the family calendar? Enzo always tells me to put things in the family calendar on our phones, but as far as I can tell, he does not check that. Ever. Yes, it was. Oh, he scratches his neck with his dirt and crusted hands. I guess I shall now then. Honestly, sometimes it's like having a third child. Actually, he is more like the second child, because Ida is more like an adult. I turn back to the pie. On a whim, I throw it into the oven. Maybe if it's hot, I could pass it off as my own. Somehow, I've been less desperate need to impress Suzette Lowell. I've worked for a lot of women like Suzette back in the days when I was cleaning houses, but I've never been in a position to be anything more than the servant of a woman like her. I don't like Suzette, but if we can be friends with the Lowells, that's a step up. That means I have finally achieved the normal life I always dreamed of, the life I'd do anything to get.